I have been looking at the races of Goat Goat for some time now and comparing it with the races of Usain Bolt within the same age cohort or the same age range to see where he is in order to compare him with the early years of Usain Bolt and not the latter years. So I'm not comparing Goat Goat current performances with those of Usain Bolt's latter performances. I'm comparing Goat Goat performances at his age with Usain Bolt performances at Usain's age. So today I want to deal with Goat Goat and versus Usain Bolt. Having seen Goat Goat races, it is clear that he is a phenom, an extraordinary good athlete, an extraordinary good performance, possibly a once in a generation athlete. And his performances at his age rivals that of Usain Bolt and possibly will surpass, eclipse Usain Bolt's performance at Usain Bolt age. The matter of Goat Goat end in terms of whether he will actually reach the same position, the same zenith of that of Usain Bolt, that is yet to be seen. It may happen, it may not happen. So one cannot actually proceed into the future by using the present or even the past. And I hope you understand that. It is difficult to see what will happen in the future because you know the current or because you know the past. That does not mean the future. And therefore, he may eclipse Usain Bolt thing. An injury may sidestep him, an injury may retard that process, and injury may see him not reaching his utmost level. And it has happened with many athletes before in the past in terms of what they were doing at a junior or an amateur stage on the early part of their career did not materialize at the end of their career, and therefore you don't hear about many of them today. The list is endless, and therefore there's no need to go and try to rehash some of those persons. However, it is clear to you and I, using our history, that many persons have actually started out as superbly great athletes, superbly great sportsmen and women, and have faltered along the way because of just mere life, what is. And therefore, it is difficult to forecast in the future what we think is going to be. We don't know. All we can say we hope. But I'm saying I'm going to be using Goat Goat's present performance to say this young athlete is a superb one. He is beatable, as Usain Bolt was when he was young. But we need to understand clearly, Usain Bolt got beaten in an Olympics to a point where he was humbled and brought to books as to the fact that you being a junior phenom does not translate into you being a professional phenom. And Usain Bolt learned that in the first time he went to Olympics, when he was actually placed where he was placed. You can actually go and actually view that. I'm going to be putting in this clip that you're seeing here on your screen in the description, so you can actually go and actually look at it again to say, listen, this phenom can be beaten, which is Goat Goat. Now, during Usain Bolt's time as a junior athlete, excluding what happens when he went to the first Olympics, he was an unbeatable young junior athlete. Goat Goat is beaten, and that indicates to you that Usain Bolt is ahead of Goat Goat in terms of during both persons' young years. Usain Bolt record may have been threatened and beaten by Goat Goat, and that should indicate to you that, listen, it's a different time period, and other persons with more training, more knowledge will come things, and therefore what Usain Bolt did in terms of his youth is now eclipsed by Goat Goat. That indicates to you that technology knowledge has actually expanded, which will be used inside of track and field, athletics, and other sports. And therefore, the greatness of one athlete during a particular time period sometimes is difficult to assess because the knowledge at that time period must be taken into consideration when one is doing the assessment. And therefore, it makes it difficult to say, listen, Goat Goat is better than Usain Bolt. Now, Usain Bolt time period had a certain base in terms of technology. Goat Goat time period has more advanced technology, and therefore it tells you how superb a time Usain Bolt was doing during his junior year. When you look at the new advancement in technology and how Goat Goat is actually performing, and they say, listen, man, Usain Bolt clearly was ahead of his time. To be compared in the current time with the current technological state, you need to understand that clearly. That must be brought into the discussion when actually comparing both persons to say Usain Bolt was indeed a phenom, a monster, a superlative athlete, one beyond his time years, technically in the current time period. Look at this rate to see that Goat Goat is a superb athlete, but he can be beaten. He can be beaten. And is he as great as Usain Bolt? And my answer to that is let's stay and watch this, then I'll give you more information.
Murphy, Oyama, Gout, Law, Kennedy, Nishi, Kamarachi, and Ice. That's left. You're not going to see him. That's right. Gout's got to do that. Gets up alongside Law. Can he get to Kennedy? Not at the moment. Kennedy's Gout's coming hard. Very, very hard. Kennedy's won. He absolutely turned his personal best inside out. We don't have one. We've got two stars in Australian sprinting.
Wow, over 60 metres, he did what we thought he would do. And
Goat
this is what Gout.
But by his performance, absolutely no. Let's look at it again and look how great this young man is as an athlete. And the possibility is endless, but we do not know what the future holds for this gentleman. What we're saying is the current technology is far superior to that of during Bolt's time. And the performances of this young gentleman within the current space of technology still is below that of Bolt. And that says to me how great Bolt was during his time. Let's go back to this race and look at it. He can be beaten, and that must be taken into consideration. He can be beaten.
That we're going to get used to. Murphy, Oyama, Gout, Law, Kennedy.